This evening we've returned to Rauceby Asylum in Lincolnshire, a place that we first investigated last year and came away having both heard and recorded disembodied voices within the empty buildings. This, however, we're hopeful is just the tip of the iceberg of what this asylum has to offer. Rauceby Asylum began its life in 1902 and was designed to take the strain off of some of the larger lunatic asylums in the Kesteven district of Lincolnshire, taking in hundreds of patients suffering from mental illness before transferring over to the RAF at the start of the Second World War, where it served as a specialised crash and burns victim unit, implementing state-of-the-art plastic surgery. In 1947 the grounds were handed back for civilian use, joining the newly formed National Health Service, where it became Rauceby Hospital until a large decline in its usage, followed by its closure in 1997. Over the last 25 years a large portion of the site has been redeveloped into a housing estate, with the remaining buildings sitting derelict, a silent memorial to the staff and patients who worked and lived behind its walls for almost 90 years. Nearly a century of memories, emotions, lives. Within the sad remains of this once bustling institution, do echoes of the past still remain? So we've finally returned to Rauceby Asylum. Now, ever since I first started Shadow Paranormal back in 2012, I've always wanted to investigate a hospital or an asylum, especially an abandoned one, and I can tell you now Rauceby lived up to expectations. Now, all in all, the night certainly wasn't the most active place we've ever been. We've certainly been to places where we've had more activity, but what we did get was really, really fascinating. There was so many disembodied voices coming from within the buildings. We could hear movement, people walking around, and we were aware that there's pigeons roosting in here, but none of the voices sounded anything like pigeons. And we actually returned a couple of months later to see if we could debunk any of these voices and sounds we're hearing. And the pigeons, we were actually listening for pigeons, couldn't hear them. I mean, that's how far out of our way we go sometimes to try and explain phenomena. However, there's certainly something going on here. I think it's quite low level, but I'm hoping that if we just wait this one out, spend as much time here as we can, we might be able to pick up on something else. Unfortunately, James was unable to join us for this investigation. However, we got in contact with Jamie from Paranormal Torch, who had also previously investigated the asylum, and he agreed to accompany us for the night. On his previous visit, Jamie had found the entrance to what appeared to be an underground tunnel, so before the darkness rolled in, we decided to take a look.
So, camera.
What can you see?
A tunnel.
Is it quite long?
I can't see the end.
Ooh.
You can't stand up in it though. It's
Full space.
yeah, it looks more like it's used some main pipes running along.
The leaves are all built up.
It's old chairs down here and stuff. Is the end.
It's all collapsed in.
Yeah, that is a genuine collapse. It says a lot about the structural integrity of all this.
Yeah. You can see the concrete.
Oh, look at this, look.
Oh.
It's wet. That's why it's collapsing.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
You see the droplets.
This must have been like a maintenance tunnel or something along those lines. Although an interesting explore, we didn't see any reason to investigate the tunnels further, so we returned back up to ground level, and with the fading winter daylight, made our way over to the main hospital buildings to begin our investigation. Hello? Is there anybody in here? Any patients? Or is there anybody that works here at the hospital? We're just visitors here, we're just passing by, we're not going to be staying here. But we thought we'd come by and say hello. See if any of you want to come out and speak to us.
Does it feel any different to last time to you?
I don't know, the wind's not helping. That's just making it feel spooky.
I do admit, actually, I feel a little bit on edge.
I do,
On my
yeah.
back. My back's turned up a bit.
But I didn't know if that was just simply because of like the wind sort of making it feel a bit kind of horror film.
Yeah.
With nothing being experienced for the first half hour of our investigation, Jamie decided to set up a few pieces of equipment, including a motion detector in one of the doorways, as well as a REM pod and a number of trigger objects.
What the hell?
It's your motion sensors.
Where are they?
Was you recording then? I wasn't recording.
I'm recording, yeah.
Get the torch out.
Someone record.
And again.
That's someone record.
Shit, my parents.
No man. Hello? They just entered.
You've got a camera recording it, haven't you?
Yeah.
As much as we were hoping that what we had captured was some kind of apparition, our findings were inconclusive. This shadowy figure looks rather strange on first appearance, however once it starts moving, especially parallel to the camera, some distinctly feline features begin to emerge, and although at no point we see or hear a cat in or around any of the buildings, the enormous pigeon massacre would certainly point towards a cat being in the area.
It's not like plasticky. You know if you put your head, so if you put your face into a balloon,
Yeah.
that smell. It's not there all the time, is it? No.
I can't smell it. It's not like the sort of smell of like the gloves, is it?
Yeah.
Like medical gloves.
Yeah. Very nice. That could be it. But I can't see anything else on the floor. Maybe. Are you trying to smuggle me?
My nose is running so much I can't smell anything.
Yeah. You're cold.
No, just I am cold.
COVID. No.
Did you just touch me?
I'm aware of it.
No, but seriously.
No.
Are you okay?
No.
What touched you? Whereabouts?
Oh my, like here, around my shoulder blades, it's like something elbowed me.
This is an area of interest, but I looks at it.
There's nothing around, nothing
there's no
hanging.
cobwebs. No, I just literally turned around. You're about, what, 2 metres from me? I'm going to lift my foot up and
Is there someone here? Did you touch Sophie? Yeah, no, there's nothing hanging around or anything. Hello? Is there somebody here?
What's that behind?
I thought it was like the stairs.
I heard a noise.
Is that stairs?
The stairs here.
It's that but bleep then. I don't know if it was the camera. The K2 just blipped.
Oh, really?
Just one tiny little blip. But I don't know. It's like, I had it like that.
Yeah.
But I need a camera handle, but I don't, look, it's not doing it now.
I've got a device here in my hand.
Hang on.
In my left hand. I don't know if you're able to come over to that. Can you try and interact with it? Can you reach out and touch it? It's got that metal rod sticking out the top. Can you try and touch that?
Oh, it's like a BO.
Oh yeah.
Have you done it as well?
Yeah, I've just a big smell of like
BO.
BO.
I'm very sorry, but
That's pungent.
what's that noise? What's that noise?
It's like someone walking about up there.
Is it? Hello? Is that someone stuck?
Let's go up.
I told you. I've had to have my phone off, I've only got 12% battery.
Strange smells have often been associated with hauntings. With scents of old perfumes or cologne, we wondered if the slightly medical scent followed by the strong body odour could be tied to a former member of staff or possibly a patient. What is fascinating here though is the quick succession of events. First, Jamie smelling what he believed to be rubber or latex, maybe old medical gloves, followed by Sophie being touched on the back. We then all smelt the strong smell of body odour, ending with unexplained sounds moving upstairs. It's almost like whoever we had encountered remained in the corridor with us for a while before going upstairs and vanishing. With no more substantial activity occurring, we decided to split up, myself and Sophie investigating the admin block and Jamie heading over to the former children's ward. So we've just come over to the admin block now. Jamie's over on the children's ward. So we thought maybe splitting up. We've got two areas that we can cover. First time we've really been in here today. Last time we were here we couldn't get into this building. Obviously no patients were held here, but this is where the whole asylum was controlled from. So it's... Shit, that's weird.
What?
Getting 0.1. We're getting readings. Is there someone here? Hello?
That was weird.
That went to 0. We had a
0.2.
0.2 spike in EMF and the REM pod. Again. Gone to 0.1.
0.1 baseline.
Is there someone here with us? Were you just interacting with this device in my hand?
What's it at?
That's just REM at the moment. Can you move away? Can you back away, please?
I just got whole body chills.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really, really appreciate that.
Hope you don't mind us being in here. My name's Luke.
And my name's Sophie.
We've come here today to visit these buildings. I don't know if you're aware, but
Is it pigeon?
I think that was pigeons, yeah. Don't know if you're aware, but these buildings might be getting knocked down soon. So they might not be here for much longer. So we may be the last people that are able to come in here and communicate with you. Are you able to...
Is that pigeons?
It's got to be, surely. Yeah, it's pigeons. Can you back away again? I know you can interact with this. Are you able to? Can you back away? Whatever you're doing, stop for a moment, please. I'm hoping we can get some kind of contact here.
What on earth?
Only very minor spikes on the EMF, but it's the fact the EMF's coinciding with the REM pod.
Yeah.
And the only way you can just demonstrate here, 0.5, it just went to.
Ooh.
The only way that REM pod goes off is if you move your hand and touch the antenna.
Right, okay.
Something breaks the energy field that
Yeah.
generates. Could we hear your voice? Can you try and speak to us? Did you used to work here?
Come towards us again. Come towards that device if you used to work here. Come towards that device if you were a patient here. Come towards that device if you're a man.
Is there anyone still here?
Come towards that device if you're a woman.
Just dropped off completely.
Completely gone.
Not even getting any EMF readings. 0.0. That's the first time I've actually had any interaction on this.
Yeah.
0.1. Back to 0. This is the first time we've had any substantial interaction with both the Mel meter and its built-in REM pod, and it was extraordinary to see that both aspects worked simultaneously. The EMF detecting a spike at the same time as the REM pod experienced something breaking the energy field. Similarly, as earlier on in the corridor, and as we have experienced in dozens of other locations, the activity was very short-lived, coming through in a very quick burst before dissipating into nothing. After our last investigation at Rauceby Hospital, we saw that there's a lot of construction equipment that's come in, and it looks like it's probably going to be either renovated or knocked down in the very near future. However, you contacted me and said that you'd seen our first investigation at Rauceby Hospital, and you've got quite an interesting background on the place as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So my great-granddad was the chief medical superintendent there between the years of 1930 and 1950, so a good 20 years. So that's where my granddad grew up.
Yeah.
They lived sort of on site, and that's where he'd spend his spare time with the patients and things, like tending the animals on the farm and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was a great interest in your video.
Yeah, it was fantastic to hear that. I mean, you've got some fantastic photographs of it we've seen, and we were looking through them earlier, and it's so strange seeing what it's like now to seeing colour photographs of it, and it just kind of brings that magic of what it actually was like there. And obviously having personal attachments to the place as well, it makes it even more real for us when investigating places.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's as you saw in the pictures, it wasn't always like a dark kind of scary looking place. It had a lot of life in it, and that's kind of what I'd hear from Grandad as well, was the fact that actually people were quite happy there. I think great-granddad instilled a lot of changes, so they could, bedtimes were extended, they had like a fund where they could go and sort of have entertainment and that sort of things. The bars were taken down, and bushes were replaced and things. So the place did have a lot of life.
I suppose as well, during the years he worked here, that was a little bit later on as well, wasn't it? So I suppose
you're coming out of that era, aren't you?
You've also got all of obviously the First World War veterans as well, which would have had mental trauma, so it would have been a little bit more in the public psyche, still not as understood, but it wasn't as sort of hushed away by that point, because so many people had it.
Yeah, I think there was about 440, it was either 444, 445 patients at that point, and 30 private when he started. And the point he started was the last time they were ever referred to as pauper lunatics. They then were addressed as Mr, Mrs, Miss, whatever.
But we're currently in one of the original burial grounds from Rauceby. There's a few graves here. I'd imagine most of them have either been moved to the edges, as I've read, probably some of them completely gone. I'd imagine there would have been some wooden burial markers which are probably lost. But even coming here, so we didn't know about this when we first visited. It's fascinating seeing the headstones, and it's over there, and we certainly experienced some things over at the asylum, at the hospital, and it's strange being here where the physical remains of these people are. And is it possible that there's, we caught another part of their remains over there and interacted with them? It's certainly, I think, probably the last time, we said this before, that we will be coming here, just because it is, it's getting renovated or taken down, but it's such a nice little full circuit round to get in contact with you.
Yeah, it's been lovely. It's been really nice to be able to kind of share what I know about it as well. And looking at these headstones and the fact we're able to, kind of correlate that to the people's medical records that my granddad had. So it's, it's been
makes it
really nice.
all the more real, really.